I just need to know if anybody else can relate. Have you guys noticed that movies are getting longer and longer these days? Like, it's a natural part of watching a movie for your bladder to feel like it's on fire.
Of course you don't mind a movie being 3 hours. All the movies you like are 3 hours. I hate movies that are 3 hours because I watch them and I go, oh my God. Because it's always cutscenes. It's always like Indiana Jones flying that dotted line across the map, and I have to watch it for 3 minutes to get the idea that he took a plane to the other side of the country. Nope, just go ahead and cut that, send me straight to the other country, I'll get the point.
That feeling of intense pressure and discomfort is to be expected. Why am I paying $22 a ticket for a chance at a bladder infection? Just a few years ago, going to the movies used to be something that you could do for just about an hour and a half, hour and 20 minutes to pass the time before your next class. Now, it doesn't even feel like just buying a ticket. It's like you're signing a freaking lease. You have to plan for the movie like you're planning for a freaking travel trip, making sure you have everything, including someone to go with, so they can record the part of the movie for you that you missed while you're trying to time when you think there's gonna be a lull in the movie plot, so you can run down to the bathroom and sprint and squeeze out all your piss, and then run back to your seat and hope that you don't trip on the stairs in the dark while people are watching you, because now you've stolen everyone's attention from the movie.
I have to go to the bathroom. No, I can hold it. My stomach gurgles. And then I'm about to explode. I make it to the toilet. Tears stream down my face.
I wouldn't be surprised if nowadays you look back in the back row of the movie theater and you see people setting up freaking sleeping tents and sleeping bags. I can't even enjoy buying soda. I'm not a soda drinker. I barely drink soda. But the movies is one of the very rare occasions where I'll buy a slushie or a soda and I can't even enjoy it because I'm aware that in half an hour, I'm gonna have to need to go to the bathroom. You gotta sip it, but it's so good and you're so thirsty that you just start chugging and it's freaking frustrating. You're doing all these mental gymnastics in preparation for not having to go to the bathroom just to sit down and enjoy the movie, so you can't even really process what the movie is presenting, on top of the mental gymnastics to plan out when you're going to empty your bladder, which might not be until after the movie. That's probably 3 to 4 hours long, but you also have to try to tune your brain into hearing what the hell the people in the movie are saying, because for some reason modern day movies have become so freaking muddy with their audio. And I know this is true because I watched really old movies recently and I noticed that you can hear every single word. Nolan.
Alright, what we need to do now, man, is we need to...
Yeah, and then we have to...
You don't need closed caption for those. I mean, one of the biggest parts of a movie that makes it immersive is the audio, and half the time it feels like bees banging their abdomens together while slapping their wings right in your ears. Maybe it's just the speakers of the movie theaters and the original cut doesn't feel like that, and people can argue, oh, it wasn't intended to sound like that because you have to play it on these special high-tech alien speakers. But then why bother if you know the majority of people in theaters that are going to be showing or viewing your movie don't have that setup or those high-end alien audio systems? So you've got that, planning your hydration, and hoping on the third hour that you don't develop a sore in your ass from sitting so long. And you know what? You know what the funniest thing is? If you have a movie franchise, the sequels always end up longer and longer as time progresses. I've noticed that as well. Like, I don't know why that's the case, but like Fast and the Furious, for example, right? For the movies Fast and the Furious 1 to 4, you have a little bit above average runtime, maybe an hour and 47 minutes, which is still considered a bit long because movies used to be like 1 hour and 25 minutes to 30 minutes. And then for whatever reason, from 5 and up, it just sails clean over 2 hours.
What the hell is going on? Like, I'm still in shock.
This is a never-ending franchise, so why is there any need to make them over 2 hours? You're gonna put out 6 of them in the next year anyway. And what is it with the freaking sequels? I know I'm venting right now, but some of these franchises are legit annoying. I've always meant to go back and watch the Fast and the Furious, but like watch the actual sequels to it. I think I stopped at Tokyo Drift. But then when I see the daunting highway ahead of me of nothing but just like endless sequels, I always get demotivated. I've been saying I want to continue this franchise for 5 years now.
Or family.
The last one made a lot of money, so we made another one. This time, we've made it bigger and familiar.
Dumb! You can't outrace a jet!
Yeah, a jet's fast, but family's faster.
They take one good idea and stretch it out over a decade. Who's still watching Fast and Furious 36, Still Furious Somehow Still Fast? Or Mission Impossible 19, Mission Still Not Possible, but you'll watch it anyway? What is the point? I get that people are gonna say that's because it's already tried and true, and it works, and it's safe, but you do know how many other wonderful movies would have gotten made? Someone just needs to take one for the team and try something different. And you can basically take the same story and call it something different. These actors are not gonna be around forever, and I guess that's why they're milking their human milk, but what? Sorry. I mean, they're milking their talent, and I feel bad for the actors because they're stuck in these roles, but they keep taking the job and then complain that they're typecasted, but you keep taking the jobs. I get it that you have to work, but you know, I mean, it's making you money because you're perfect for the role. You're basically set for the rest of your life though, and so you can't act anymore, so why are you complaining? You can rest assured that in Fast and Furious 103, the saga of the Lamborghini flying up the alien's ass, you'll have a job. It's just annoying. Again, I know I always say this, but that's why I love anime, because you have so many endless concepts to choose from, so many scenarios, and that's how I write my stories too. I love having many different ridiculous scenarios. I mean, for goodness sake, for some reason, there was an anime trending about a guy being reincarnated as a vending machine. And
Stop, you capping right there.
he legit just loses his life from crashing into a truck that was carrying vending machines, and he's reincarnated as a vending machine because apparently he was a fan of vending machines when he was alive. And it's an endless avenue of ideas because you could write so many different scenarios. Maybe another one, someone comes back as a Wi-Fi router. It's why I absolutely enjoy anime even more than I do Western media. Anime doesn't shy away from complexity. In these Western shows or movies, there's always this obvious villain and hero, and don't get me wrong, there's enough of that in anime too, but more so because anime delves into the backstory and really fleshes out the characters. I mean, the adorable protagonist that you thought was this pretty, sweet, da-da-da-da girl is somehow some demon vampire who lived for millions of years, who used to be a killer whale in her past life and lost her husband when a bunch of guys shot an arrow through his whale dick and poisoned him, and he ended up dying. Let me write that down, hold on. Yeah, I don't know any other Western shows or TV where people get reincarnated as vending machines or swords or Pokemon creatures that look like a set of keys. Anime's not afraid to take some weird ass risk either. They don't play things safe, and they're not afraid to offend every little thing. Many times I watch anime, and even though they'll have predictable premises like it's set in high school, sometimes it can take a weird ass turn, like giant people breaking out from the forest and eating people and splitting them down the middle so that they can drink their blood and squeeze them out like those freaking suck things that were in plastic that had ice in them. I forgot what they're called. Or a guy that's reincarnated as a dude that can turn into a chainsaw, and his chainsaw puppy thing gave its life infused with him so they can be a chainsaw together.
That sounds weird.
Like when you actually say it out loud, the plot, you're like, what in the world? Who was high? Who drank an ocean of bath salts before they wrote this? Or you have a superhero that is indestructible and unbeatable to the point where he gets bored and is just spending his whole life wishing that somebody be strong enough to beat him, and that's what he lives for. He doesn't want to get rid of villains. He's unhappy because there aren't enough that are strong enough to do damage so that he can have a worthy opponent. You can also have your pick of the normal type of anime that follow the status quo, but then you still have their weird quirks about them, or you can have a plethora of different content to choose from. And most of the time in anime, the stories and the characters will be well fleshed out. I've watched a significant amount of anime, and I have yet, not saying it's not out there, but I have yet to see one where the characters aren't fleshed out and the stories aren't fleshed out, except for those that are not finished yet, and you get a better ending, or you get a better ending in the manga and they're still being written or something like that. If you have an anime show, they're also more bite-sized, anywhere from like 20 to 30 minutes. Nowadays, Western shows are at a minimum 30 minutes, and most of them are about an hour long. Although I don't really mind the hour because you get like a full-length movie. You get to sit down and really think about it before you have to wait a whole week. And of course, they probably have to make up for the fact that they only do about 6 to 8 episodes. So that's a little bit more excusable. But the movie runtime's gotta go, bro. Like, it's very rare that you find movies that have very long runtimes that are actually engaging and make it feel like they don't have a long runtime. And seriously, if you're going to have a movie that's 4 hours long, at least do what our grandparents had at their disposal and give us some intermission. We're not machines. We have liquid flowing through us, and you want us to drink these big ass cups because the smallest size for sodas in some of these freaking theaters are bigger than a human male head. And you expect us to have paid for our ticket to sit there in discomfort, holding our bladders, having an hour left to go. That's just freaking inhumane. What's going to happen is that people are gonna start pissing on the floor. I swear to God, if people start pissing on the floor more in movie theaters, you'll see how fast they bring back intermission. In my country, they had that and the movies weren't even that long. You know why else they had intermission? Because they're smart and they wanted to make more money when it came to their concessions. They know that people are gonna run out of popcorn, so after about half an hour to 40 minutes, they would give them a bathroom break, but people also go and buy food. They go buy concessions and fill up because, let's be honest, a lot of the commercials that they have before the movie even starts, people already eaten off their popcorn. Because the commercial's like freaking 5 minutes, anywhere from 5 minutes to half an hour long. So you're eating your popcorn because you're bored and you're just throwing things in your mouth because that's a human thing to do. So before the movie even starts, you're done your popcorn and halfway through your drink. So with intermission, people would end up buying double the concession for one movie because of intermission. Just saying. Anyway, I'm sorry about the vent. It's just so annoying and I've noticed it and I wanted to know if anybody else feels the same way because the last 3 times I went to go see a movie, I mean, it's not even the last 3 times. Every time, like the last, for as long as I can remember. Yeah, for years now, I've been going to the movies with my spouse and it's like I'm always uncomfortable. On top of that, the movie theater is freezing, so you're shivering more, which causes your body to constrict and squeeze your bladder to all high hell. Then you have more people getting up during the movie and interrupting your immersive experience because they have to go to the bathroom and can't hold it. You know what I'm saying? Freaking A, come on, get it together, people. People are probably going to be more motivated to stay home because when they think about that experience and the discomfort, why would they want to support movie theaters that feel like they're dying anyway when you go there and you're more uncomfortable and concentrating on your urine that's ever so expanding exponentially by the freaking minute when you could just sit comfortably at home and pause whatever you have that's streaming. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. This has been Ultiori, You Ask, We Answer.